Welcome to the Legends in English. Today we bring you the inspiring story of Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientists in history. Born in 1879 in Ulm, Germany, Einstein was a child full of curiosity and imagination. Though he faced many struggles in school, he never stopped asking questions and thinking differently. Later, his theory of relativity changed the way we understand time and space. This story is not only for knowledge, but also for English learning and listening practice. From the lives of such legends, we learn to dream big, stay curious, and never give up. Albert Einstein, the legend of science and humanity. There are some men in history whose names become symbols. They are not just human beings, they become an idea. They are not just born for themselves, they are born for the world. Albert Einstein was one such man. A child who was once considered slow, silent, and strange. Grew up to become the greatest scientist of the 20th century. He changed the way we look at time. He changed the way we see space. He changed the way we understand the universe. Einstein was not just a scientist with formulas and theories. He was a dreamer. He was a philosopher. He was a humanitarian. He was a man who believed that imagination is more powerful than knowledge. Why is Einstein extraordinary? Because he proved that even the weakest child in a classroom can become the strongest mind in the world. Why is Einstein inspiring? Because he showed that failures are not the end, but the beginning of a journey towards greatness. Today, when we hear the word genius, the first picture that comes to mind is of a man with messy hair, a curious smile, and eyes full of wonder. That man is Albert Einstein. His life is not just about science. It is about courage. It is about hope. It is about standing for truth, even when the whole world is against you. Einstein once said, "Try not to become a man of success. Rather become a man of value." This one line is enough to describe his life. He did not chase wealth. He did not chase power. He chased truth. And in that truth, he found immortality. The story of Albert Einstein is the story of light. The story of a boy who once could not speak properly, but later taught the whole world the language of the universe. Early life and struggles. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in a small city called Ulm, in Germany. He was born in an ordinary family, not in riches, not in power. His father, Hermann Einstein, was an engineer and businessman. His mother, Pauline, loved music and wanted her son to play the violin. From the very beginning, Einstein was different. When other children learned to speak early, he remained silent. He spoke very late, almost at the age of 4. Because of this delay, people thought he was slow. Some even believed he would never achieve much. But silence is not weakness. Sometimes silence is the language of deep thinkers. Einstein's silence was the silence of imagination. He watched. He observed. He questioned. He tried to see the world in ways no one else could. When he was 5 years old, his father gave him a simple compass. That compass changed his life. He saw how the needle always pointed north, even when nothing visible was pushing it. He wondered, what force is guiding this needle? What invisible hand controls it? This little compass became his first teacher. It taught him that there are mysteries in nature, unseen powers that control the world. And a little boy decided, I must find those hidden truths. But childhood was not easy. In school, teachers complained. They said Einstein was slow. They said he did not fit the classroom. He hated the strict discipline. He hated memorization. He wanted freedom to think. He wanted freedom to imagine. While other children repeated lessons, Einstein looked outside the window, dreaming about light, space, and the mysteries of the sky. His mother noticed his love for music and gave him a violin. He practiced and found joy in it. Music became his friend, a companion that stayed with him throughout his life. When science became heavy, Einstein turned to music for peace. Financially, the family was not very strong. His father's business failed many times. They had to shift from one city to another. Struggle was part of their everyday life. In these struggles, Einstein learned one thing. Life will test you. Life will break you. But if you hold on to your curiosity, you will rise again. A child, once considered dull, was secretly preparing to shock the world. Turning points in Einstein's life. Every great life has turning points. Moments that change everything. For Albert Einstein, there were many such moments. Some small, some big. But each one shaped him into the legend he became. The turning point of books. As a young boy, Einstein discovered a book of geometry. He was fascinated by the shapes, the lines, the logic. It was like entering a new world. He would solve problems with joy. He would spend hours proving theorems. For him, mathematics was not just numbers. It was beauty. It was poetry written with symbols. This love for mathematics gave him confidence. He realized he was not slow. He was simply different. He was not made for rote learning. He was made for deep thinking. The turning point of thought experiments. When Einstein was a teenager, he started doing something unique. He would imagine himself riding on a beam of light. What if I travel as fast as light? What will I see? Will time stop? Will the world change? These thought experiments became the seeds of his future theories. While other children played games, Einstein played with the universe in his mind. The turning point of migration. Einstein's family shifted to Italy when his father's business failed. He left school in Germany, where teachers never understood him, and joined a new environment. Here, he felt a little freer. Here, he began to grow. Later, he went to Zurich Polytechnic in Switzerland. At first, even there, teachers doubted him. He was not seen as a bright student. But he had one thing which others lacked: a burning curiosity. He studied physics and mathematics with passion. Slowly, the boy who was once rejected by teachers started walking towards greatness. The turning point of failure in career. After graduation, Einstein faced rejection. He applied for teaching jobs. He applied for assistant jobs. No one hired him. Even after studying so hard, he remained unemployed. This was a painful turning point. He had dreams, but no opportunities. He had knowledge, but no job. Finally, he took a small job at the patent office in Bern. This job had nothing to do with great science. But it gave Einstein something priceless: time to think. And in that silence of the patent office, he wrote papers that would one day change physics forever. The turning points of Einstein's life show us something powerful. Opportunities may not always come. But if you carry curiosity, if you carry imagination, you can turn even small moments into history. Failures and challenges. When we think of Albert Einstein, we imagine a genius, a Nobel Prize winner, a man whose very name means intelligence. But behind that shining image, there was a journey full of failures, full of struggles, full of painful rejections. As a child, he spoke late and was called slow. In school, teachers thought he would never succeed. He failed in many exams and faced rejection from several jobs. Yet Einstein never gave up. He kept questioning, kept learning, kept imagining. His failures became his teachers. And from those failures, he discovered the universe's greatest truths. School struggles. As a child, Einstein was considered different. Teachers complained. Classmates laughed. He was slow in speaking, slow in answering, but fast in thinking deeply. Instead of encouraging him, schools tried to suppress him. They wanted him to memorize, to obey, to fit into their strict system. But Einstein's mind wanted freedom. This mismatch made him unhappy in school. Once, a teacher even told him, "Albert, you will never amount to anything." Imagine. The world's greatest scientist was told he would achieve nothing. Career rejections. After finishing his education in Zurich, Einstein wanted to become a professor. He wanted to teach physics. But university after university rejected him. They did not see the genius in him. They only saw an ordinary young man with average grades. He applied for many assistant jobs. But letters of rejection kept coming back. At last, he accepted a simple job at the Swiss patent office. It was not his dream. But it was survival. And survival is also part of greatness. Financial problems. Einstein's family was not rich. His father's business often failed. At times, they lived with very little. He had to struggle for money. To live modestly. To survive without luxury. But poverty never broke him. Instead, it made him humble. And it taught him the value of simplicity. Personal challenges. Einstein's marriage with Mileva Marek also brought difficulties. There were misunderstandings, financial stress, and emotional struggles. His personal life was far from perfect. He made mistakes. He suffered heartbreaks. Yet he kept moving forward. Scientific resistance. When Einstein published his early papers, many scientists did not accept his ideas. His theory of relativity sounded impossible to many. They criticized him. They laughed at him. But Einstein did not stop. He believed in truth. He believed in his vision. And slowly, the world began to see the light of his ideas. Failures followed him at every step. But Einstein turned failures into fuel. He turned rejections into reflections. He turned challenges into chances. He proved that true genius is not about never falling, but about rising every time you fall. Philosophy and teachings of Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was not only a man of science. He was also a man of wisdom. His thoughts, his words, his philosophy. They were as powerful as his theories. Knowledge versus imagination. Einstein believed that imagination was greater than knowledge. He once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is limited, while imagination embraces the entire world. Knowledge gives us facts, but imagination gives us dreams. Knowledge tells us what is, but imagination shows us what can be." And it was imagination that made Einstein ride on a beam of light in his thoughts. Long before experiments proved him right. Simplicity of life. Einstein lived a simple life. He never cared for luxury. He often wore simple clothes. Sometimes without even wearing socks. He believed possessions, outward success, publicity, luxury. To me these have always been contemptible. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone. For the body and the mind. Through his life, he showed that greatness does not need golden chairs, but a golden heart. Value of character. Einstein always said that being a person of value was more important than being a person of success. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. Success may fade. Money may disappear. But value, kindness, and truth remain forever. Humanity and peace. Einstein was deeply disturbed by wars. He had seen hatred. He had seen violence. And he wanted peace. He said, "Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding." He believed in the unity of mankind, in respect for all nations, and in using science for the good of humanity, not for destruction. Education and curiosity. Einstein valued education, but not the kind where children just memorize books. He believed true education was learning to think, to question, to imagine. He said, education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. And he lived by that principle. He questioned everything. He doubted. He experimented, until truth revealed itself. Einstein's philosophy teaches us to dream beyond boundaries, to live simply, but think deeply, to prefer value over success, to choose peace over violence, to never stop questioning. His teachings are not just for scientists. They are for everyone who wants to live a meaningful life. Major achievements of Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein's life was full of remarkable achievements that changed the world. He did not just make discoveries, he changed the way humanity understood the universe. Theory of Special Relativity, 1905. In 1905, while working at the Swiss Patent Office, Einstein published the theory of special relativity. He introduced the famous equation E equals mc superscript 2. This showed that energy and mass are interchangeable. It was a revolutionary idea. It explained how the universe works at its most fundamental level. No scientist had ever thought in this way before. Theory of General Relativity, 1915. Einstein spent 10 years refining his ideas. Finally, in 1915, he presented the theory of general relativity. This explained how gravity works, not as a force, but as a curve in the fabric of space and time. His theory predicted the bending of light around massive objects, which was later confirmed during a solar eclipse. The world realized that Einstein had changed physics forever. Photoelectric effect, 1905. In the same miracle year, Einstein explained the photoelectric effect. He showed that light behaves as both particles and waves. This discovery became the foundation of quantum theory. For this, he won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921. Brownian motion. Einstein also explained Brownian motion, proving the existence of atoms and molecules. His work gave strong evidence for modern atomic theory. Influence on modern technology. Einstein's discoveries were not just theoretical. They paved the way for technologies like nuclear energy, GPS systems, because satellites need relativity corrections, quantum mechanics-based electronics. Beyond science, Einstein used his fame for humanity. He spoke against war and violence. He supported civil rights in America. He encouraged peaceful uses of science. Academic honors. Einstein received countless honors. Doctorates from multiple universities. Membership in scientific academies. Recognition as one of the most brilliant minds in history. Einstein's achievements show us that curiosity, perseverance, and imagination can create wonders. From a quiet boy with a compass in his hand to the man whose equations reshaped the universe, Einstein proved that thinking differently can change the world. Inspirational short stories from Albert Einstein's life. Albert Einstein's life was not just about theories and equations. It was full of small, inspiring moments that teach us courage, curiosity, and perseverance. Story 1, The Compass That Sparked Curiosity. When Einstein was 5 years old, his father gave him a small compass. The needle always pointed north, even when nothing seemed to guide it. Young Albert was mesmerized. He wondered, what invisible force controls it? This simple curiosity never left him. He spent his entire life searching for invisible forces. The forces that govern the universe. Lesson: curiosity is the first step to greatness. Story 2, Rejections That Led to Miracles. After graduation, Einstein applied for academic jobs. Universities rejected him repeatedly. Imagine a young man full of ideas, told he was unfit for teaching. Most would have given up. But Einstein did not. He took a job at the Swiss Patent Office, a modest and ordinary position. There, he had time to think, imagine, and experiment. In that quiet office, he wrote papers that changed physics forever. Lesson: failure is not the end, it can be the beginning of miracles. Story 3, Simplicity and Humanity. Einstein once gave a lecture and noticed the audience was struggling to understand complex concepts. Instead of showing off, he took chalk and drew simple diagrams. He explained ideas in the most basic way, making them accessible. He believed knowledge should be shared, not hoarded. Lesson: true greatness lies in simplicity and helping others. These small stories show that Einstein was not only a genius of physics but also a genius of life. He teaches us to stay curious, embrace failure, stand for truth, and remain humble. Even the smallest events like a compass, a rejection, or a drawing on a blackboard can shape destiny. What great men said about Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein's brilliance was not only recognized by ordinary people, but also by some of the greatest minds and leaders of his time. Niels Bohr, fellow physicist. Niels Bohr, one of the fathers of quantum theory, once said, "Einstein is not only a genius, he is a poet of the universe. He sees the invisible, he feels the impossible." Even among other great scientists, Einstein was considered extraordinary. Max Planck, pioneer of quantum theory. Max Planck, the founder of quantum physics, praised Einstein. "He is a mind that transcends time. His imagination is limitless, his understanding is profound. Einstein will inspire generations to come." Mahatma Gandhi, leader of India. Although Gandhi and Einstein never worked directly, they shared letters and respect. Einstein wrote to Gandhi, "Generations to come will scarce believe that such a one as Einstein ever walked the earth." This shows even leaders of other fields recognized his greatness. Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of Britain. Churchill described Einstein's influence in the world. "He has changed the course of modern science. And his ideas will shape humanity forever." Albert Schweitzer, philosopher and Nobel laureate. Schweitzer, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, said, "Einstein's mind and heart were in perfect harmony. He not only discovered truths about the universe, he discovered truths about humanity." General recognition. From scientists to world leaders, Nobel laureates to philosophers. The praise for Einstein was universal. A genius of unparalleled imagination. A thinker beyond borders. A humanitarian at heart. These tributes show that Einstein's life was not just about physics. It was about inspiring the world, influencing minds, and leaving a legacy of curiosity, courage, and compassion. Einstein's story reminds us that greatness is recognized not only by awards, but by the respect and admiration of peers, leaders, and the world. Legacy and impact of Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein's life was more than just formulas and equations. It was a life that left an everlasting mark on science, society, and humanity. Scientific legacy. Einstein revolutionized physics. His theories of relativity reshaped our understanding of space, time, and energy. His work laid the foundation for modern physics, influencing technologies like GPS, nuclear energy, and quantum computing. Generations of scientists continue to build on his ideas, proving that knowledge can grow endlessly. Educational influence. Einstein's approach to learning, questioning, imagining, and thinking independently changed the way people teach and study science. He inspired teachers and students worldwide to value curiosity over rote memorization. His life shows that education is not just learning facts but learning how to think. Humanitarian impact. Einstein spoke boldly against war and injustice. He advocated for peace, civil rights, and democracy. He supported Jewish refugees during dangerous times and encouraged global cooperation. He proved that a scientist's responsibility extends beyond laboratories and classrooms. It extends to the welfare of humanity. Cultural and global influence. Einstein became a symbol of genius, creativity, and courage. His image, messy hair, gentle smile, thoughtful eyes became universal. Books, films, documentaries, and quotes made him a global legend. Even today, children and adults alike look up to him as an inspiration to think freely, dream boldly, and live honestly. Inspiration for future generations. His life teaches us: never fear failure. Value imagination. Question everything. Stand for truth. Serve humanity. Einstein's legacy is not only in the theories he discovered, but also in the life lessons he left behind. He showed that a man of ideas could change the world, and that one person's curiosity can inspire billions. Einstein's impact is timeless. He reminds us that the mind, when free and courageous, can illuminate the universe and touch the heart of humanity. Emotional and poetic narration of Albert Einstein's life. Imagine a boy, silent, watching the compass needle tremble, wondering about the invisible forces of the world. Imagine a teenager, dreaming while riding on beams of light, asking questions no one else dared to ask. Imagine a young man, rejected by universities, ignored by teachers, working quietly in a small office, scribbling equations on plain paper, while the world went on unaware. Imagine a man, whose hair became messy like his chaotic thoughts, whose mind soared higher than rockets, whose heart beat for peace, whose life whispered the poetry of the universe. Einstein's journey is not just about science. It is about patience. It is about courage. It is about standing alone and believing in truth, even when the world laughs. He taught us that imagination is a river, and knowledge is the boat. Without the river, the boat goes nowhere. Without imagination, knowledge becomes lifeless. He showed us that failure is not the enemy. It is the soil where greatness grows. He showed us that simplicity is not weakness. It is strength. He showed us that the mind is limitless, and the heart is boundless. Einstein's life is a symphony. Notes of struggle, chords of curiosity, melodies of compassion, harmonies of genius. Even today, when we look at the stars, we remember him. When we think about time, we remember him. When we dream of peace and unity, we remember him. Albert Einstein was more than a man. He was an idea. He was a dream. He was a light in the dark. This was the life journey of Albert Einstein, a true legend who changed the world with his ideas. In the Legends in English, every story is a chance for English learning, listening practice, and inspiration. Keep learning from great personalities, and keep moving forward with courage and curiosity.